Hello esteemed viewers, welcome to our mathematics tutorial for today. In today's tutorial, we are going to solve for x and y in this Olympiad exam question. Root x plus root y equal to 3 and x plus y divided by the product of x and y, the square root of the product of x and y equal to 2. These are two distinct equations and we are asked to solve for y and x. We are asked to look for the value of y that can satisfy these two equations. If you're new in this channel, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel. Also remember to press the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I upload my daily mathematics Olympiad solution question as we approach the date of that competitive examination. Thank you very much. Now to solve this question, I'm going to treat each of these questions as an equation. So I will take the first to be equation 1 and the second to be equation 2. And so I'll have to solve the equation 1 and 2 simultaneously. Now solving this question, the first thing I want to do is to consider the first equation. From equation 1, I want to take the square root of the square of both sides. That will help me clear the square root. So if I take the square of both sides, I'm going to have this value. Now remember multiplication, this is the square, so we'll have to simplify the left hand side. So the first time square will give us x plus the second term square will give us y plus 2 times the multiplication of the first term and the second term, and that will be equal to 9. So let's consider this to be equation 3. Now the next thing we need to do is to also consider the next equation. From the next equation, this equation 2, we have our x plus y divided by the square root of the product of xy equal to 2. So let's consider that equation 2. So we'll consider from equation 2, we have x plus y divided by the square root of xy equal to 2. So what we need to do is to cross multiply. If we cross multiply, we'll have this value x plus y to be equal to 2 times the square root of the product of x and y. So let this come here, and that will give us x plus y minus 2 root xy, and this will be equal to 0. So let's consider that to be equation 4. So we have two distinct equations now, equation 3 and equation 4. Now what we need to do is to consider solving equation 2, 3 and 4 using the elimination method of simultaneous equation. Now recall that equation 3 is x plus y plus 2 root xy, and that is equal to 9. And we have equation 4 to be x plus y minus 2 root xy, that's equal to 0. So to solve this using elimination method, let us subtract both sides. If we subtract both sides, we're going to have, let's add both sides. If we add both sides, we are going to have this and this to give us 2. Of course, this will be x plus y, right? So plus 2 square root of xy plus minus this will clear this, and then we'll be left with what? 9, because simplifying this, we'll have, of course, we'll have to divide both sides by 2. If we divide both sides by 2, we'll have x plus y to be equal to 9 divided by 2. Now, let's consider that to be another equation. We'll take that to be equation 5. Now, we're still going to picket those two equations. And when we picket those two equations, we are still going to equation 3 and 4. We have equation 3 to be x plus y plus 2 root xy to be equal to 9. And we have x plus y minus 2 root xy to be equal to 0. Now, what we need to do is to subtract these two equations. If we subtract these two equations, our solution is going to give us something different. If we subtract these two equations, this whole thing will give us 0, and plus 2 root the product of xy minus 2 root the product of xy will make this minus and minus will make this to become plus, and once it becomes plus, this will become 4 root xy, and this will be equal to 9 minus 0 will give us 9. So if we divide both sides by 4, we'll have our xy to be equal to 9 divided by 4. Now, having gotten that, we'll take that equation to be equation 6. Now, I want you to note something, that from equation 5, we can make x the subject of formula. And from equation 5, if we make x the subject of formula from equation 5, we have our x plus y to be equal to 9 divided by 2. So if we make x the subject of formula, we'll have our 9 divided by 2 minus y. So we'll have that as an equation. Then the next thing we need to do is to substitute that value of x equal to 9 divided by 2 minus y. We'll put it as a value into equation 6. But then before we do that, we are going to simplify that equation 6. So let's substitute that into equation 6. So we have to substitute x equal to 9 divided by 2 minus y into 6. So remember, our 6 is square root of xy equal to, recall that, 9 divided by what? 4. So if we reduce that value of 6, we are going to square root both sides. If we square root both sides, we'll square both sides, we'll clear the square root. That will give us xy to be equal to, I'll square both sides, this will give us 81 divided by what? 16, because 9 square is 81 and 4 square is equal to 16. So having done that, we can now substitute that value into it. Remember, we are substituting x to be equal to 9 divided by 2 minus 1. So let's substitute that. So we'll have 9 divided by 2 minus y, all multiplied by y, equal to 81 divided by 16. So this will multiply everything here, and then we'll have our 9y divided by 2 minus y squared equal to 81 divided by 16. Good. Now, if you look at that, we are coming close to having a simultaneous equation. Now, if we have a simultaneous equation, if we multiply through by by a negative sign, we are going to have y square. This will become minus 9y divided by 2, while this comes over here to become this will come over here to become minus, but when we multiply it by minus, it becomes plus 81 divided by what? 16 equal to 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation, but I want you to note something, that this quadratic equation is more like a perfect squared quadratic equation. Why do we say it's a perfect square quadratic equation? Because half of the coefficient of y, if we take half of the coefficient of y, that will give us 9 divided by 4. If we take the square root of half the coefficient of y, we are going to have 81 divided by what? 16. So that makes this quadratic equation a perfect square. Now, coming to know that it's a perfect square, it makes it easier for we to factorize that quadratic equation. Now, to factorize that quadratic equation, we are going to simply say y square, because it's going to give us a perfect square, minus 9 divided by 4 square is simply equal to what? 0. Now, having gotten that, we can square both sides. If we square root both sides, we are going to have y minus 9 divided by 4, because the square root will clear this, and this will be equal to 0. So if this comes here, our y will be equal to 9 divided by 4. So we've gotten our value for y. Remember, the essence is to also get a value for x. Now, we can get a value for x from this equation we find here, that x is equal to 9 divided by 2 minus y. So let's make good use of that to get the value of x. So we say our x is equal to 9 divided by 2 minus y, right? So let's substitute the value of y, which is equal to 9 divided by 4, into that. We'll have our x will be equal to 9 divided by 2 minus 9 divided by 4. So all we need to do is to simplify this. If we simplify this, we're going to simplify this. If we simplify this, we'll simply have our this to be 4, and this will give us 18 minus 9, and that will be equal to 9 divided by 4. So our x will also be equal to 9 divided by 4. So finally, we can see that our solution to that value of our value of x and y is x and y equal to 9 divided by 4 and what? 9 divided by 4. These are the values of x and y that satisfy those two equations that are given to us above. Now we can test if this truly is correct, the solution is correct, by inserting the value of x and y into any of those equations above. So let's look at root x plus root y equal to 3. Let's look at inserting the value of x equal to 9 divided by 4 and y equal to 9 divided by 4 into this equation, and then see what it will result. We have square root of 9x plus square root of y, and we are told is equal to what? 3. So if we have the square root of 9 divided by 4 plus the square root of 9 divided by 4, this will simply give us 3 divided by 2 plus 3 divided by 2. They have same denominator, So the numerator will add. That will give us 6 divided by 2, and this will be equal to what? 3. So we see the value of x equal to 9 divided by 4, which is equal to the value of x and y, truly satisfy that equation given above. Thanks so much for watching this video. I do appreciate your watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more simplified Olympiad exam questions, and don't forget to share this video with friends and colleagues. Thanks so much, and bye bye for now.